perfection. It might be the morning sun caught in the dew on a spider's web, fresh fallen snow, or a baby rabbit playing by a stream. Perfection. It means different things to different people, but the basic ingredients of your basic perfection, if you like, could be seen to be completeness. Everything there, nothing wrong, no flaws whatsoever. There's a problem with that, is it's boring. There's no story. For instance, Watership Down would never have made it as a story if it had been about a load of bunnies leading happy-go-lucky, perfect bunny lives. No, some of them had to get splattered before we really had any interest in it. And the same goes for other images of perfection. There has to be a flaw to make it interesting. The sun is only reflected in the dew for a few hours, and then the dew's gone. That's what makes it so special. And the only interest in fresh fallen snow lies in being the first one to run through it in your wellies. Perfection of any sort needs to have flaws to make it interesting to us. And the same thing goes for cars. This is a car so good at what it does, so capable, it's almost boring. Think of Michael Schumacher, another boringly capable German. In fact, a man so in control that the wildest thing he's ever seen to do is perform the famous Schumacher jump, a leap in the air off a podium when he's just hurtled to victory in the latest Grand Prix. A jump in the air, eh? Go wild, man. Heroes and heroines of history have always shown themselves to have some sort of flaw, to be fallible in some way. We like that. We like fallible. So, what to say about this? Well, back to the fallen snow, really, lying there all perfect and untouched. The only thing we can do is run through it in our wellies. So, there have to be faults somewhere. 4.6 seconds. That's very fast. Oh, I don't like this. It's all round. It'll be here somewhere. No. And the back's... No. Oh, and this seat, it's really comfy, actually. Electric sunroof. Oh, one touch button there. And this steering wheel, it's so... Well, it's leather. Yeah, I bet there's no legroom in the back. There's loads of legroom in the back. Ah, got it. BMW say that every nut and bolt for this new 3 Series is new. A part, that is, from the sump plug. Well, that's just shoddy, shabby and sloppy, using outdated technology. I mean, it was the same sump plug as the last model. Which is not right, is it? In fact, it's near impossible to find anything overtly and outstandingly negative or wrong with this car at all. It's neither over nor underpowered. Neither does it show any signs of being particularly prone to drinking heavily. Even this, which is the thirstiest of all, the 2.8 litre straight 6 engine version, returns a very respectable 31 mpg. The pricing is tediously sensible as well. It's not cheap, but then neither is it expensive. You get what you pay for. Quality. The 318i starts at launch at £19,500, rising to £27,500 for this, the 328i SE. But it's worth that much of anybody's money. Okay, slightly more than the last 3 Series, but then the car is bigger in all directions and you actually get more equipment. So work it out, and it makes sense as well, but nothing too drastic. All still very, very sensible. It's no surprise that it's a great drive. The body shell has been stiffened for this new version, which does improve the handling, but to be honest, it was fantastic anyway on the old 3 Series. There's so much technology on board surrounding you in here that really press the wrong button at the wrong moment and you could accidentally launch a satellite. And you could also think that perhaps BMW believe that the first thing you and I are going to do when we slide behind the wheel of this thing is throw it through the nearest hedge. So much of the technology on board here is devoted to keeping everything pointing in the right direction. So we've got ABS and ASC plus T, which is automatic stability control and traction, a system for reducing wheel spin, together with CBC, cornering brake control, another enhancement to the braking system. This uses computer simulations to determine transverse acceleration from signals sent out by the 4 ABS sensors, and then boost brake pressure accordingly to correct oversteer. Basically, that means if you hit the brakes mid-corner, the system should help keep everything pointing the way you intended. So if your ABS, ASC and CBC drop you in a you-know-what, there's always your DSC to fall back on, Dynamic Stability Control. It can actually reduce the power from the engine and apply the brakes to individual wheels to restore stability if it detects that things are going a tad wonky. Oh, and then there's TPC, Tyre Pressure Control. So if the car suffers a loss of tyre pressure, there's a little light to let us know. So ABS, ASC plus T, CBC, DSC and TPC. And the side airbags are ITS, the immobiliser is the EWS, there's an AIC control rain sensor on the wipers, and noise from the 1.9 engine is reduced by 10 dB. Oh, and the bulbs have all been replaced by LED. Actually, the various traction control and technical gizmos do work incredibly well, as is demonstrated the first time you get a bit smart and switch it off. And really only then do you realise just how much the system was doing to make you look good. This car raises a question. Just how good do we want our cars to be? And in my opinion, I reckon about this good, really. It is so competent, so good at what it does, that when you get out of it, you don't really want to run into the pub and talk to your mates about some outstanding feature. It simply does its job, gets on with it quietly, and does it extremely well. So well, in fact, that you really could forget all about it and leave it to it, really. Oh, hang on a second, I knew there was something.